Roberts, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council. I would like to take a few minutes and provide an overview of your agenda for this afternoon's work session meeting. Prior to that, if I may, I would like to recognize two employees. The first is a bit of an introduction. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge someone for their efforts. And so first, in the introduction, I'm going to ask if Mr. Chris Jenkins can stand. I'm proud to announce today that we've been joined by Chris Jenkins. He's our new Executive Director of Virginia Zoo. And so, Chris brings over 25 years of frontline animal care and training experience to the City of Norfolk. He most recently served as the Chief Operations Officer for a national leader in animal training, presentation, consultation, exhibition, and education located in Winter Haven, Florida. Prior to that work, Chris served as the education program presenter at Walt Disney Company and park operations host at SeaWorld of San Diego. He's a member of the professional development committees for the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That's our accreditation agency for the zoo. He's on day 2, but he today with the city, but he did work last week when our zoo staff visited the accrediting agency and got us across the finish line with our annual accreditation. So we're really grateful to Chris for that. So again, please welcome Chris Jenkins. That's a short bio I just gave you. There's a lot more to that. So I hope you get to know Chris in the near future. A big announcement too, Chris said he bought a home in Norfolk, closed on it today. So and this how it works. So he's on a roll. So
Everybody else is the mayor's ward.
That's correct. Good save. Good save. Well, while I'm at it, though, I really would like to acknowledge Richard Parker. Richard, would you please stand as well? Richard has served for several months as the acting director of the zoo. He has previously served as assistant director there. Richard, through his work in the last several months, I really want to say personally, exemplifies public service. We had some challenges with our prior accreditation visit. Richard assembled a team of staff from all over the city and really mustered a lot of resources citywide to pull out this most recent success with our accreditation. If you have visited the zoo, the grounds, the physical plant are really in great shape. The team feels good about the organization and the work they're doing. So I really want to credit Richard largely for his work in the last several months, putting us in great shape and handing it over to Chris as he comes to join us. So Richard, thank you for that.
And still haven't found the red panda. Still missing. Still be on the lookout years later. Yeah, I think it's in Ward 5. Yes. High school.
Thank you for that. I will now provide a brief overview. The one item you have on your work session is a city planning update. Bobby Tahan, Director of City Planning, will provide an overview of some items that are on your upcoming agenda as docket items. We do have a handful of items that require consideration of a closed session motion following that. And so that's without objection or amendments to the agenda. I would like to call up Mr. Tahan.
No objection. Mr. Tahan, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council. I have a quick update of 3 items that were previously presented to the Council, with one of those items being on the docket today as an update, and some of the efforts that staff has been working on to work with these applicants to help gain additional information for their items. The first item is Kalana Shipyard Incorporated. This is a conditional rezoning at 344 West Indian River Road and 335 Emmett Place. And this is a change of zoning to rezone it from the planned development River's Edge to and multifamily neighborhood scale to industrial deep waterfront. Again, the current site is zoned multifamily in the general plan. This was done in 2016 in an effort to facilitate a multifamily development that never occurred during that timeline. It was previously designated as industrial and utility waterfront, and bringing it back to that designation is not inappropriate at this location. The site, this will be handled through the update of the comprehensive plan MK 2050. Again, this is a conditional rezoning from that previous multifamily zoning district that was never developed. to industrial deep waterfront at this location. For an update of the applicant has revised their proffers to add additional and to maintain additional landscaping along West Indian River Road and adjacent to the residential zone properties at the location. The applicant was notified of concerns about vehicular access on West Indian River Road to the site, but the applicant has not offered any proffers to mitigate the concerns of that access and mitigation. The site is currently being used for temporary parking and storage, and the applicant has noted in a letter that was provided to the City Council previously that they do plan on utilizing the site for additional shipbuilding and shifting some of their operations to this location further away from the existing residential sites. The applicant noted in their letter that they provided that they did do additional public outreach, and staff did receive a letter from a community leader providing concerns of operational and buffer concerns with the existing, mostly dealing with the existing operations of Kelowna Shipyard, and the letter has been provided to the applicant for their consideration on how they can interact with the citizens and the neighboring community. And again, the Planning Commission at their July public hearing recommended by vote of 6-1 approval of the conditional rezoning.
Additional landscaping along any river and to the adjacent residential property.
Yes, sir. It is mostly just along the southern boundary of this property as well as to the western edge of the property. Those are the direct exposures of the landscaping, and they are required to, and they proffered to install evergreen landscaping in those areas as well as meeting the type C, which is a larger buffer requirement along adjacent to the residential on this side.
And as it relates to access on Indian River, there is access on Emmett, which is more industrial, more less residential. Emmett is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so are they planning to close one of the?
They have not indicated on what they were planning on doing. The site does currently have main access, especially for the temporary parking area through Emmett Place, where they're mitigating some of the parking that's happening in the neighborhood. They have not said nor addressed the concerns of the access on Indian River Road.
And so I'm inclined to support it. However, Emmett Place access is industrial. It's near the tunnel. It's near the bridge. It's not impacting any residential homeowners or the churches and other community organizations. Indian River does. So if we close Indian River, it still will allow them access as they're using now.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. And then they aren't using Indian River currently.
There is an access point, I believe, through the fence that's there, but my understanding is the majority of they do not utilize that entrance at this time.
Yes.
Can you flip back to the previous map? So just want to make sure, prior to it being rezoned multifamily in 2016, what color was it? Would it have been?
It was the lighter blue is industrial.
Industrial, okay. And this is just for future. Is there a way to build into rezoning that there's a sunset if it's not, the project's not done by a certain time with it? So this was supposed to be a special project, it did not happen. And you put a 5-year or 6-year or something on it that says that it reverts back to the original zone. I don't know if that's legal or not.
Sorry,
we
just getting some good
No,
news
it's okay.
from court.
But we always like good news. I'm sure we'll
Yes.
get that in an email later.
Yeah, trial is covered now, so come back in our favor.
Good, good.
Excuse me.
I'm
listening now.
The
Sorry.
multifamily property that was rezoned in 2016 from industrial, is there a way to build in the future when we have a project like this that if they don't develop it by a certain amount of time that it reverts back to the original zoning? Almost like a sunset, but not a sunset?
I'm not familiar with that. I have to look to see if we could do that. I understand what you would like. it may depend upon how we did it. So that if it moved to be a conditional rezoning, that might be a condition that was includable. But can I get back to you with
Yeah.
some certainty on that?
And just for my colleagues, the reason why I'm asking about this is because we have a lot of people who buy property like this, we redo the rezoning and it just sits. And maybe if we had a provision in there, it would light a little fire on getting them moving with this, because there are also some recent apartment buildings that we approved that now are not happening, some things like that. So I was just wondering if that's something we could just build in naturally so we don't have to deal with this.
I agree with you 100%, Tommy, and this may be continued, so we can get those answers. But also, the access on Indian River that will impact the residential along Pendleton and South Main. Currently, they're not using it. They're using a residential site currently right now for industrial use, parking, and so we're.
So Kenny, are you proposing that all traffic goes up State Street? Is that State Street?
Yes, it is State Street.
And then make a right on it? You don't want anybody making a right-hand turn off of Indian River onto State Street to Emmett, is what you're asking? So you want to close it off?
They're currently using Emmett.
Right. But right now, there's access from Indian River Road.
There's a.
Regular road access for anybody. Are you asking to close that?
Closing the street.
Okay.
Now, just to access this site for industrial, now it will become industrial use.
Gotcha. So just where it connects to, and I went over there, JP, and toured it, but where it connects with Indian River, you wouldn't want an access way coming into that site off of Indian River and taking traffic completely off of State Road in Emmett?
State Street in Emmett is where the industrial,
Okay.
that's where the shipyards connect, that's where
But
the
people
interstate.
can still go down Indian River and make a right, yeah, okay.
Okay. Just for clarity, we're saying Indian River, but we're actually talking about West Indian River, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to be clear with that, because when we say Indian River, somebody
I
might
only know
know.
one Indian River, sorry.
It's the little small street that kind of takes you around directly to those houses, and then there's a large section that's just the shipyard.
So we probably continue, so we can answer the question, because
You don't need to continue for me, I mean, that's, yeah.
I think in order to, so that the bigger project is realized, I think that's fine.
You want to make it go on to the next, if we do conditional use, also do that, what I'm asking on that one. Okay, I understand.
Okay, Bobby, you may continue.
Okay. The next item is Soulful Vegan Events for a conditional use permit. This is, again, not currently scheduled for a council agenda at this moment, but this is at 1200 East Little Creek Road at the corner of Pythian and East Little Creek. The operator's request is now to only operate an indoor and outdoor flea market. This is the existing plan showing where the applicant plans to have their vendors located on the property, leaving the front parking spaces and the rear parking spaces accessible to the site and to the users, with the vendors being only located in the front parking spaces along East Little Creek Road. The applicant has requested to remove their request for a banquet facility at the location, and they're only asking for the opportunity to operate the indoor and outdoor flea market at the location, with the proposed operating hours staying the same, the total indoor capacity being at 42. There is a condition that is proposed in the conditional use permit that limits or prohibits the use of amplified sound and music outside in order to help mitigate some of the impacts of the noise from the proposed use. Oops. On September 11th, the applicant met with the South Bayview Civic League to further discuss their proposal. Staff was present to help answer questions and to listen to understand any of the concerns that the community had. The Civic League, after listening to the presentations, voted and still does not support the applications for the indoor and outdoor flea markets, as well as the banquet hall, which the applicant has withdrawn. The applicant still wants to proceed, even after this vote, with the request for the indoor and outdoor flea market. And again, at the July Planning Commission public hearing, the commission recommended 6-1 approval of the proposed use.
market?
They did not share that they would consider only the indoor. We can ask them if they would consider that only.
Because it's zoned retail, that's a retail site.
Yes, it is zone commercial, so retail is permitted by right at the location.
Indoor market or indoor retail would be permitted.
It would be permitted, however, because of the types of goods they're selling, they would still need a conditional use permit for the used type of goods that they're selling inside.
The Civic League, she did say that they would support just the indoor only.
That's my
As a
understanding.
retail, they said they would just support. Yeah. There's not enough parking. Once you take all the parking spots for,
For the goods, so once you put the,
it's just not the right spot for it.
okay. Mr. Todd, maybe you can visit with the applicant and kind of talk through. But it's their application, we'll hear what they want to present.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to clarify, the Civic League did vote. I think there was some confusion that there was a conditional use permit for the retail portion. And that is by right, the retail portion any regular retail. The letter that I believe I received said both indoor and outdoor they were concerned with, but I will speak with the applicant as requested.
Question for you. I know you're working.
I'm listening now.
Somebody's some hours over there.
It's
Just
on
don't
the.
be, just be building me. If we pass this, just an indoor facility, we can do that, right? Although the applicant isn't asking, may not ask for indoor only.
Yes, that is a condition that can be imposed for such a CUP, yes.
Thank you, Mr.
But
Harper.
if we denied it, they could still do the
Retail
retail
only.
space anyway,
I
right?
just need to use goods.
I don't know.
Yeah, just not the
They
flea
use
market.
goods. Okay, good.
But if we move forward with it, they can at least start doing some things and kind of work with it.
Use goods and new goods.
Also, if that happened, it would maybe help build a little bit more trust in the community right now, because that's one of the big issues about some statements and incidences that have been happening there. So I think that might help.
The last item on the agenda, on the planning update is on your agenda tonight. This is by 7-Eleven Incorporated for conditional use permit for a convenience store, a gasoline sales, off-premise alcohol, and the sale of smoking products. This is at 7912 Halpern Drive at the corner of East Little Creek and Halpern Drive. It's currently a vacant pharmacy store. This is the proposed layout. Staff was able to work with the applicant to flip the building to help mitigate the traffic concerns with having the pumps located directly on the corner. The applicant has flipped the building and also has provided elevations which show a building that provides frontages along both sides of the building and providing an opportunity to not have a blank wall along Halpern Drive. The applicant's engineer did provide a trip generation analysis. They do note that there are two full-service curb cuts now, one on Halpern Drive that accesses the shopping center, and one on East Little Creek Road that currently exists that will be utilized. And based on their professional judgment, they believe that 75% of the vehicles will access the site through the East Little Creek Road entranceway. And the analysis does note that 100% of the existing vehicle traffic from the existing convenience store utilizes Halpern Drive, and which will be distributed between Halpern and East Little Creek Road with the new location. Staff was made aware recently, thank you, Councilman Smeagol, that the Roosevelt Gardens Civic League did meet again, and they do now support the application. I did not receive that update from the Civic League. But the Planning Commission does recommend 7-0 approval of the proposed recommendation, of the proposal. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Todd? Yes.
And I just wanted to make note, Bobby, you did work with 7-Eleven too. On the former 7-Eleven, when this one opens, it will have restrictions on the use.
That is correct. There's a condition proposed that limits the utilization of the other site, which does not allow it to be utilized for a convenience store or any grandfathered use associated with the previous convenience store.
Okay. You got that's all you had?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. McGee.
Bobby, not related to any of the applications you've presented today, but there was recently an article in the pilot that quotes the number of illegal short-term rental operations occurring in the city. Every time I hear that number quoted, it feels higher than it should be. Would it be possible for us to get an update on what we believe is the accurate number of illegal short-term rentals operating in the city, and then where we are on enforcement?
Yes, sir, we can do that.
Any other questions for Mr. Kahan? Okay,
Mayor, if you don't mind, I also want to acknowledge Dr. Susan Draw is here with the Virginia Health Department. I'm going to put Dr. Draw on the spot. Did you have a staff member you'd like to announce?
Thank you. So, thanks everyone, nice to see everyone back. This is Mary Oppert. She's the new epidemiology program manager. She's gonna be over all epidemiology as well as the STDs, syphilis, still talking about it, it's over now. Those programs to make sure we can get ahead, watch the trends, make sure we get ahead of these epidemics, these potential outbreaks, and really rallying the teams for a great emergency response if we need that. So, Mary Oppert, she's new to Norfolk, and I said, this is where a lot happens, so I'm introducing her to you all. Thank you.
welcome.
You gonna ask her what ward she moved to?
House?
The mayor.
All right, Mr. Moore.
So move the members of the council assemble informally and close meeting on September 23, 2025 at 4:23 p.m. Conference room in the City Hall building in the City of Norfolk. Purposes which are set out in clauses 29, 8, 1, subsection A, of section 212-3711 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act as amended. Clause 29, discussion of the Board of Public contract for sports lease where discussion the terms of the contract adversely affect the negotiating strategy of the public body. Clause 8, consultation with legal counsel regarding potential suit where such legal counsel is requested. Clause 1, discussion of candidates for boards, commission authority, and committee appointments. Clause 8, consultation with legal counsel on downtown matter where advice is needed from such counsel. Mr. Clappy.
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle.
Aye.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
Mr. Page.
Aye.
Mr. Spiegel.
Aye.
Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
Dr. Alexander.
Aye.
Great close.